Hey Hard Knock fans, welcome back to another video. So today's video, we are here to talk about why Dricus du Plessis DDP is impossible to beat. I mean, the guy is impossible to beat. He is virtually finished every single opponent he's ever fought, and he's won every single fight he's ever had in the UFC. So today we're going to talk about the reasons on why I think Dricus du Plessis is so hard to beat and why I virtually think it's impossible to beat him at the middleweight division. Before we get into it, guys, please make sure to click the subscribe button, like the video, and also just leave a comment and tell me what you think after this analysis. But without further ado, let's get into the video. So the reason why DDP keeps on winning so often really comes down to a couple of key factors. The first one is his durability. You know, I talked about this a little bit in the Gregory Rodriguez and versus Jared Cannonier fight. I talked about that, which is that basically he can absorb so many punches. He can absorb so many punches, so much damage without slowing down or getting hurt seriously. Like if you watch DDP's fights, like if you watch the one against Adesanya, if you watch the one against even Darren Till, or even the one with both fights against Sean Strickland, you'll notice that DDP just keeps on taking shots and he takes so much punishment, but he just doesn't slow down or he doesn't really get hurt or anything like that. He just keeps on coming. Another reason why DDP is so good and why he's so hard to beat is because he is so good with his chin. What do I mean? What I'm trying to say is that he's very responsible with his chin. You know, he always has a high guard, you know, protecting the sides of his head, you know, making sure that he doesn't get rocked over there. He's very, very responsible with that, keeping his chin down. So yeah, you know, people might be like, oh, he was getting pieced up by Sean Strickland in the first fight. Yeah, that's true, but he's never going to get rocked. That's why you'll never see DDP get rocked, because he's so careful, so responsible with his chin. It's genuinely pretty great and amazing how he's able to do that across all his fights. Another thing that why DDP keeps on winning, which is one of the bigger reasons why people talk about him winning, is that DDP is very, very strong for middleweight. Like, he is very, very strong for middleweight. He's you know, one of the bigger middleweights in the UFC. He's not the biggest, but he has a fair, like, believe me, a fair amount of power on him and strength on him, and this helps him so much, and this is what makes him different from everybody else. You know, his power and strength translates to both the striking and the grappling. You know, he's a power puncher. You know, he's a bit of a power puncher. You know, when he's landing these big, ugly, oofy shots at you, you know, and that's beneficial under MMA scoring criteria, but also he also hurts you when he lands those punches. Another reason why he keeps on winning so much is that he can grapple as well. DDP has underrated grappling, you know. I mean, yes, I totally understand. Oh, DDP's not that technical, and that is true. He is not that technical. That is the godforsaken honest truth. But he's so strong, especially in the grappling, that he's a bitch to beat in the grappling. He's so hard to beat in the grappling. He's able to survive there and even win some grappling exchanges, even though technically he may not be that great because of his strength and how strong he is. He's able to survive or even at times even win some grappling exchanges. Another reason why DDP keeps on winning so much is his cardio, his stamina. It is so great. I know in the beginning of his career in the UFC, people always were like, oh, you know, DDP, you know, he gets tired in the later rounds, right? But ever since he got his nose fixed, you know, he's been able to maintain a high pace throughout his all fights. You know, that's one of the things I talked about in my video when I talked about the fight night recap of Jared Cannonier versus Gregory Rodriguez. I talked about this, saying that, you see, the thing was with a lot of middleweights and even upper divisions, right? These guys are so big, so strong, they have so much muscle on them, right? That the first couple rounds, they're always fast, they're explosive, they're powerful, right? But as soon as they expend all their energy, they get tired. They can't keep up the same pace, but that's not what the case with DDP at all. He can maintain a very high pace and sustain it for the entire fight. I mean, we saw that with Sean Strickland, and we all know Sean Strickland has amazing cardio. You know, we all heard these stories that, you know, he trains and spars and he has the best cardio in the UFC, and DDP was able to match it all 5 rounds or 10 rounds now since they fought twice. Another reason why DDP keeps on winning so much, but that I don't see too many people talking about, is that he is so well-rounded. He can effectively fight with on the feet and also on the ground, allowing him to find success in either area depending on how the matchup works out. I mean, DDP is like one of those fighters that not only does he have KOs, but he also has submissions. You know, he's just that good. He's well-rounded all around. Now, is he the most technical? No, he's not that technical. But like whichever way you want to go with him, believe me, he can contend and hold his own more than enough in both of those areas. So because of all these attributes, it helps him power through so many more of his opponents, because although some of his opponents may be more skilled than him, right? They may have better skills, better techniques than him, but they cannot match his physical tools. They cannot match his well-roundedness, and they cannot match even his mentality, which I forgot about it, which is kind of underrated, which is that DDP has a very strong mentality. He has this mentality that basically goes something along the lines of like, no matter what happens in there, I'm always going to make it out. I'm always going to make a plan. He has the most South African mindset ever, which is that things aren't perfect, but God damn it, I'm going to make a plan. I'm going to make it happen no matter what, no matter how much I don't have, I'm always going to make it happen. And that's one of the reasons why he's always able to win. You know, even though, yes, he's more sloppy and yes, he's not that technical, right? But with everything I just mentioned, from the cardio, the well-roundedness, the striking, the grappling, the physical strength, the defensive responsibility with his chin, the durability, when you mix up all of these things, DDP is by far one of the best middleweights that the middleweight division has ever seen in the UFC. You know, he really, really, really is. Like, we cannot like keep on like, oh no, he's sloppy. Yes, he's sloppy, but God damn it, he keeps on winning. He keeps on finding a way. So when you look at everything I just mentioned, it all makes sense now why DDP is so hard to beat. You know, he can beat you on the stand-up, he can beat you in the striking, and he can beat these one-dimensional people like Adesanya, who are only good at one thing, or Derek Brunson, who's only good at one thing, or Darren Till, who's only good at one thing. He'll just take you to the other one. And he can beat some pretty well-rounded guys themselves, like Robert Whittaker, because of his underrated game IQ. Yes, DDP is one of the smartest fighters in the UFC. Like, a lot of people are just like, oh, you know, his mentality. Bro, his mentality, he gets it from his game planning and intelligent. Like, DDP is a very intelligent fighter. Make no mistake about it. He's very intelligent about how he game plans, about how he chooses to attack people, and how he chooses to fight. You know, and that's where he gets his confidence from. But he understands he has all the skills relative to win every single matchup. So guys, that's the video for today. You know, DDP is definitely becoming one of my more favorite fighters in the UFC. And, you know, I just want to thank you guys. Thanks for watching the video. You know, if you enjoyed the content, please like the video, click the subscribe button if you want to get more content from me. You know, I'm going to try to put up as much content as I can for you guys, you know, and also like the video, right? If I didn't say that already, subscribe. Also, tell me, why do you think DDP keeps on winning these matchups? Like, what do you think it is? Or do you have a new take that I didn't necessarily express? Please tell us in the comments. Believe me, we all want to find out, because I'm telling you guys, DDP, he's in the middleweight division, and he's going to rule the middleweight division for the next years to come. Thanks guys for watching the video. I really appreciate it. And until I see you guys on the next video, Hard Knock fans, I'm out.